morning and welcome to Easter Sunday. Oh, I am so happy. The wind has dropped, the sun is shining. My mum's coming over today with Chloe and Aaron. I'm going to cook a big roast dinner. Oh, it's all good. Before we do anything though, let's make some coffee. Lovely out here. I'm glad we didn't put Mum off because the weather forecast said it was going to be freezing. I've got to get the roast in. First, I need some rosemary. I'm going to have a look in my very sad and lonely herb box. See if there's any remaining rosemary. Let's go have a look. Let's have a look. Well, it was the tiniest amount of rosemary, but every little helps. Right, look away now, vegetarians. Meat is going in. I said to Glenn, has he got enough wood for the fire pit? And he's chopping up what looks like a massive tree. Where'd you get that from, Mr. Warner?
Wood that was actually standing up here.
Right. Make use. It's dead. Make use of it. Glenn's chopped up the bird table too. How you getting on, Mr. Warner? Oh, you've made light work of that. Mr. Warner cleaning windows.
Cobwebs on the inside.
I've got so much to tell you about my DNA. Ancestry said my results would be back on the 17th of April. Logged in this morning, my results are back. I may have the dullest DNA results ever. Over 80% of my DNA comes from the southwest of England. My mum, me and my cousin Alison all expected there to be some sort of Chinese origin in there because my mum has photos when she was younger and people used to call her the Chinese baby. She looked Chinese. She wasn't. Southwest of England. But there are some interesting things to know. Anyway, let me grab my computer and I'll show you. 81% England and northwestern Europe, 17% Scottish and one other region. That one other region is Sweden. Well, like less than 2%. Most of my DNA comes from this part of England. I sort of guessed, really. And then we've got Birmingham. This was interesting. Didn't expect Birmingham. So where it says Greater London, that actually covers Aylesbury, which is where I was born. Funnily enough, not far from where we are now. What is quite interesting, when I look at my DNA matches by the map, I have some DNA matches in America, which is quite cool, including Nova Scotia and some DNA matches in Australia too. You know, I got Ada Elizabeth Manley's death certificate the other day. She was my nan's mum. I'm trying to build a really rich story about her life. This led me to have a look at her brothers and sisters, and I noticed one of her sisters died when the sister was 18 years old. This is my lovely nan, and this is her mum, Ada Elizabeth. So Ada and Alice, there was only a year between them. But Alice died when she was 18 years old. So then I asked myself, why? What happened when she was 18 years old? What did she die of, basically? I was having a mooch around the archives. And I found, finally, it took some digging, but I found this article in the newspaper. The funeral took place on Wednesday afternoon of Alice Manley, aged 18 years old, who died the previous Sunday after a long and painful illness following on amputation of the right leg in connection with a hip trouble of many years standing. The pathetic features of the case elicited more than usual sympathy, and there was a large attendance of relatives and friends at the funeral service. I mean, that sounds horrific, but it poses more questions. I mean, what hip injury do you have that they chop your leg off for a start? Also, how did farm labourers pay for what must have been an expensive surgery? Don't forget, this is in the days before the NHS. Who paid for that op? How long had she had the hip issue? Was she born with it? Was it a result of an accident? Too many questions. So there's more digging to be done there. If anybody does know their stuff when it comes to genealogy, are there like medical records that you can look at? I need to know. I need to know. This was Ada's sister. They were born just a year apart. They must have been close, and it must have been really traumatic for the family. Not just her dying, but the whole leg amputation. Anyway, I'm going to put my computer away now. Focus on cooking this roast dinner. Right, dinner's well underway. Here they are.
This is Lisa's offering the starters. Pate, camembert, toast, butter.
Right, that starter's done. Oh, that's us all dished up. Right, let's take it all outside. Kitchen's chaos. Oh, dinner was delicious. I've just come in to make the dessert. Glenn's out there making a fire because it's getting a little bit chilly. Right, quick dessert. To be honest, if you're going to eat fruit, that's the way to eat it. I've run out of glass bowls, so I've had to do mine in my teacup. Mum, Chloe and Aarran, they've gone. Our neighbours, they just dropped something in the canal, so Glenn's out there with the magnet trying to find it. I'm coming to do the final bit of washing up. We've been so lucky with the weather, considering how cold and horrible it was yesterday. Mr. Warner's out there is playing with the Seagull engine that he's brought off of eBay or Facebook for, I think it was 50 quid.
Carburetor off the little outboard engine.
So Glenn, tell us the stories with the outboard engines.
Just popped up on Facebook, and as I do, I just bought it. It's not running properly, so first thing first, get it running properly.
Can you hear that?
Sorted it.
So, Mr. Warner, what did you do?
It was a spark plug, had a load of gunk in it.
Well done, Mr. Warner, well done.